Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Amy here. Today I have a unhaul and then a book haul. A book unhaul and then a book haul. So this past weekend, Debbie and I made a little trip to Covington to go to 2nd and Charles. I had a stack of books to bring to them to sell and or contribute if they didn't, accept my books. And then of course, buy more books. So yeah, it was a super fun day out, kind of like my little birthday out with my BFF. I did intend to vlog it, but I just wasn't feeling it. It's that time of the month. I wasn't into it. I was feeling blah. I still am feeling blah. But anyway, I did film an unhaul in that vlog, so I'll go ahead and insert that here. And then current me will come back. So here is the stack. These are actually from my last unhaul that I did with y'all, like sometime last year. And I was unsure of whether I really wanted to get rid of them, so I kept them, but I have not picked them up. I have not wanted to pick them up, so they're going. And this is my other stack that I recently picked up. Oops, sorry y'all, all the wires from my workstation there. Okay, sorry about the background. Let me see if I can turn y'all a little bit this way, get away from all those wires maybe, so y'all not seeing all that. Okay, so we'll just go through them real quick. The first one on top is Breathe Into You, or Breathe Into Me by Sarah Fawkes. I think I picked this up years ago at Barnes & Noble. It was on a discount shelf for like $5, I think. And it's not something that I feel like I'm going to pick up in the near future. I threw this one in here. This is Devil in the White City by Erik Larson, but I think I'm going to keep it. I really love the cover and I still want to dive into this. I actually have it on audio with Audible. I went ahead and I bought the audio because the narration's really good. I was just really bored because the beginning just explains all about Chicago and about the fair, because this all takes place when, I think it was is it the World's Fair? Yeah, circa 1893, the legendary World's Fair. So it starts off and it starts the setup of the World's Fair. We talk about the men whose idea it was and all that is very in detail. So if you like that kind of history, this is in there. But what I'm interested in is the true crime part of this book, where we have the serial killer who used to lure his victims from the fair to this hotel that he built. So yeah, so that's the part that I'm interested in, and I'm still interested in it. So I still want to kind of read / listen to this. So I think I'm going to keep it, and it's just a beautiful book. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that one. This one, The Last to Die by Kelly Garrett, I picked up on a whim at Target. I liked the cover. It sounded kind of good. I think it's like a YA. It involves some sort of game that people ends up dying kind of thing, but it doesn't have very good reviews. I watched a booktuber that actually read this and they did not recommend it. I don't know, the more I read the back and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna read it. So I threw it in that pile. It's a very short little book. Don't come for me, y'all, but I'm getting rid of Stephen King, The Institute. I'm actually gonna see if Debbie wants this. Debbie's a huge Stephen King fan. I think she would appreciate this more than I would. I hear good and I hear bad things about it. I hear it's super long. It's Stephen King. It's about a little boy that I believe has like these powers of some sort. And he's taken to this institute that harbors these other children with special powers kind of thing. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna be able to do it. I haven't had any luck with Stephen King as far as reading Stephen King. I love his movies. I just can't get into the books. So then we have Joe Hill's Strange Weather. I, of course, once again bought this years ago from Book Depository, kind of on a whim. Not Book Depository, Book Outlet. Years ago, I think it has just a bunch of short stories. It's horror short story books by Joe Hill, which is Stephen King's son. I just don't know. I don't think I'm going to ever pick it up. So we're gonna go ahead and put it in there. In fact, I'm gonna see if Debbie might want that one as well. I'm gonna see if she wants any of these. She might want to take these. I don't know. This is the Megan Miranda that I tried to read and I DNF'd it. This is Fragments of the Lost. This was supposed to be a one of Books and Lala's books for her book club, the Literally Dead book club. I just could never get into it. I got that I'm and I had enough. So I don't even remember what it was about. I'm pretty sure it's a young adult type book, because we follow this young girl. I think she lost, her and this guy broke up, and I believe he ended up getting killed somehow. I don't know if he was murdered or if he died in a bad accident, because there's some talk about like this car accident that night. And she's basically going through his room and all his stuff, and every chapter is just about every single little piece of information or piece of whatever item she finds in his room. She like talks about it, and it's like a whole chapter, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Then we have The Dirty Book Club by Lisa Harrison. Once again, picked this up years ago when I was very much into like women's fiction, and I think it could be a good book. I'm just not into that anymore, or it has to be really good for me to continue reading it, and I wasn't feeling it, and I don't think I'll ever pick it up again. But we follow a young girl. She basically leaves her job. She meets this older woman that had a dirty book club, and she kind of takes it on from there and gets new friends and things like that. So it sounds really good and cutesy, and it probably really is. It just wasn't what I was wanting at the time, and I just don't think I'm very much into that anymore, and I don't think I'm gonna pick it up, so it's gonna go. Then we have The Chestnut Man. I'm not even gonna try to butcher the author's name, but I did try to read this. This was a book of the month pick for me sometime last year, maybe the year before. I think it was the year before, like 2019. Yeah, it came out in September of 2019. Very big book. I hear it's really good, but I just can't get past, like, I think I made it, I don't know, 72 or so pages in. I think it was around chapter 14. So the chapters are fairly short, but I couldn't really follow the writing well. And I found myself drifting and thinking of other things, and then I'd have to go back, and I was wasting my time and the book's time. So yeah, this is a very nice book of the month copy. I'm sure Second and Charles will take it, but Debbie might want to read this one. I don't know. So I'm gonna give her first choice on all these. This is another one I picked up, Paul Tremblay's Growing Things. This is short stories in here. I haven't been a fan of Paul Tremblay's writing. I mean, his last book, The Survivor Song, was actually not that bad. I didn't particularly like at the Cabin at the End of the World, which everyone kind of raved about, but I didn't particularly like it. I rather The Survivor Song over that one. I just don't think I'm going to pick this up, being I'm not a huge fan of the writing, Paul Tremblay's writing. So yeah, so this one's gonna go to very, very nice copy. So there we go. This is Forgetting August by J.L. Burge. This had potential. It really did. I DNF'd it probably about halfway through. I was just like, okay, I know where this is going. It's gonna piss me off, and I don't feel like it. So we basically have a guy that lost his memory. But he remembers this one girl. Apparently he was some sort of an possessive asshole in this previous life, and now that he has woken up from this coma, He doesn't remember that life. He doesn't remember who he was. He doesn't, you know, understand why he has no friends, why no one was there for him in the hospital when he woke up. I love a good amnesia story. So I thought that's what this was going to be, which it is, which it got me halfway through, but it got to a point where I knew it was, like I said, I knew it was going to happen, and I knew it was going to piss me off. So I just stopped it. So it's going in the pile. This is a book I just picked up on a whim from Barnes & Noble. This is Exit Wounds. It's just a bunch of authors that have wrote little short stories of mysteries. 19 tales of mystery from the modern masters of crime. There's Lee Child, Val McDermott, Dean Koontz, John Connolly, Dennis Lahan, and Jeffrey Deaver. So I just picked it up on a whim. I liked the cover. I thought I would read it. I never did. Never really wanted to pick it up, so it's going in the pile. This is a book I picked up from a library sale, so it's not in the best shape. This is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. I don't know why I picked this up at the library sale. I think it was just a little bitty part of me knew the book, knew some people talked about it and liked it. I wanted to give the money to my library, so I bought it. But I never really, it was never really something that I said, oh, I think I'm going to like this. I want this book. I just kind of bought it to support my library. And I don't think I'm going to pick it up, even though I love Rainbow Rowell's writing. I don't know if I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to read this one. So off it goes. I don't even know what it's about. Then we have Let Me Lie by Claire McIntosh. This is actually a large print book. So I don't know if you can see that the print is super large. So if you're one that reads with readers, you may not need readers with this one. I guess when I picked this up, I didn't realize it was large print. I think I got it off of Book Outlet. So I don't even know what it was about. The police say it was a suicide. Anna says it was murder. They're both wrong. Okay, yes. So I think we follow a young girl where her parents died, and she's trying to figure out what happened to them. She's struggling to come to terms with her parents' deaths, unwilling to accept the verdict of suicide. So she doesn't think that their death was suicide, so she's looking into it. It sounds good, but I don't know why I just never wanted to pick it up. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I've had it that long, haven't wanted to pick it up. We're gonna let it go. And we have The Drowning by J.P. Smith. It sounded really good. It really did. Sounded really good. I got this out at Barnes & Noble's, but it completely fell short. I DNF'd it about halfway through. Someone dies at a camp in the lake, and it's the fault of like this one of the camp counselors, because he was supposed to, I think he was supposed to be, I don't know, I think he was supposed to be watching this kid or teaching this kid how to swim. I want to say he was like an asshole, and he's the reason this kid died or drowned. I lost interest. I think this was another one where I knew where it was going and it was pissing me off, so I was just like, I can't with it. And lastly, this is Save the Date by Mary Kay Andrews. I have read a good bit of Mary Kay Andrews books. The High Tide Club was an absolute favorite because it's a little bit of romance with a little bit of mystery into it, a big timeline. I really liked it, highly recommend it. It's kind of a mixture of woman's fiction and mystery, murder mystery kind of thing. But I don't think I'm gonna read this one. This one is about a wedding night, I believe. I'm not real sure. Can this wedding be saved? It's a very long synopsis. We're not going to get into it, but I've had it for a really long time. I don't think I'm going to read it, so. Alright, y'all. That's it. That's my unhaul. The only one I am going to keep is Devil in the White City, because I really do still want to get into this book. I want to know all about the true crime part of it. That's what I'm interested in. Okay, so the way Second and Charles works is you bring them your books. They will go through them to see which ones they want to take, and then they will present you with a price, and then of course the ones that they don't take, they'll get back to you. And they have a bin that you can put your books in. If the ones they don't take and you want to donate them to Second and Charles, they have a bin for that. So that's what I usually do. But I completely did not think about it when Debbie and I were on our way out. There was a poor mom with 2 kids, and one of the kids was just annoyingly crying. Poor heart. I felt sorry for her. I felt sorry for him. And like, I couldn't get, like, it was such a bad fake cry on the kid's part. Like, I just couldn't get it out of my head. I was like, I am so sorry for you, young mother. Anyway, that was what was in my head, because they were checking out with us. They were like in front of us in the line, and then we were walking out with them as well. And I just didn't think. I was just like, I need to get away from the noise. Anyway, Second and Charles ended up not taking my Harry Potter and the Cursed Child book. This is really heavy. I've actually never read this. This is a special rehearsal edition script. I got this at Barnes & Noble's like right when it came out, because, you know, Harry Potter obsessed here. But I heard it wasn't good. So I still don't think I'm going to read it. Like I said, I did mean to bring it to Second and Charles and put in their bin. So I'm sure we're going to end up going back to Second and Charles so I can put it in their bin. But I may end up just donating it to like our local Goodwill or whatever, and leaving it there for someone else to enjoy. So let's get into the books that I got from Second and Charles. So most of their books are secondhand, but you can buy new books over there. But the ones I got today are all secondhand. In no particular order, I picked up Another Day by David Levithan. I read, it's probably been about 2 years since I read, what is it? Is it Someday? No, Someday is the sequel. I have Someday. I bought it like right after I read Every Day. It's called, the first book is Every Day. Someday is a sequel, but I learned that there was Another Day, which is actually Every Day just told from a different perspective. So in Every Day, or in, I'm getting so mixed up, in Another Day, we are following, what was her name? Rhiannon. Rhiannon is her name. She is a character we mainly follow a lot in Every Day. Every Day is about, okay, there's a being. This being is not necessarily a male or female. They're just whoever they wake up to be the next day. So basically, and they call themselves A, and basically every day they wake up in someone's body. They don't know who it's going to be. They do not know who they're going to be that day. So when they wake up, they have to quickly learn a few things about this person that they are and live their life that one day. And in Every Day, A is Rhiannon's boyfriend, or A is in the body of Rhiannon's boyfriend, and this day was the best day of Rhiannon's life, because her boyfriend is nowhere near that sort of person that A is. So of course, you know, A doesn't really know the personality of the person they are. They kind of learn it throughout the day as they encounter their friends and families and things like that. So A was just being themselves. And when A met with Rhiannon that day at school, Rhiannon could tell that this wasn't her boyfriend, but whoever he was, she was going to take it for that day. And they spent the day together, and they had like the best day ever. So anyway, this is Rhiannon's story of that day. So this is kind of a 1.5 kind of thing. And then Someday is our sequel to Everyday. I really encourage you to read this. I highly recommend it. It's just eye-opening and heart-opening. I think it just sends out good vibes to every young adult out there struggling with who they are, or who they want to be, or trying to figure out themselves, kind of thing. You don't necessarily have to be one person, you know. It just opens your mind up to possibilities. Anyway, it was great. Everyday was a great book, so I cannot wait to get into Everyday. I wanted to read Everyday before I read Someday, because not only do I want to refresh my brain of Everyday, but I want to get Rihanna inside before we hop into Someday. Yeah. Anyway, going on too much about that, but I found that one and I got it for $5.95. And these stickers, that's the only thing, when you buy secondhand books, you'll probably get a lot of stickers. I'll have to try to take that off later. I'm not going to fool with that now. But anyway, I got that. And then I ran into the other misses. They usually have a numerous amount of copies of books, although I did not see another copy of this book. In fact, I rarely seen it at Barnes & Noble's. I saw it at Barnes & Noble's one day in paperback. This is hardcover. And it was bent, and I just didn't like it. So I didn't buy it. But seems to be a very good copy. So I'm glad to have found that. I didn't see it anywhere else in the store. But I did see a couple of the other misses by Mary Kabuka. Debbie got her one as well. In fact, hers had a signed copy. Or hers had hers was a signed copy on the inside, so that's cool. But this was a very nice copy. I got this one for $13.50. I've heard really good things about this book, so I've been wanting to get it. It's been on my want to get TBR, but I just never, never bought it. Anyway, it says she tried to run, but she can't escape the other misses. Sadie and Will Faust have only just moved their family from bustling Chicago to small-town Maine when their neighbor, Morgan Baines, is found dead in her home. The murder rocks their tiny coastal island, but no one is more shaken than Sadie. But it's not just Morgan's death that has Sadie on edge. It's the eerie and decrepit old home they inherited. It's Will's disturbed teenage niece, Imogen, with her threatening presence. And it's the troubling past that continues to wear at the seams of their family. As the eyes of suspicion turn toward the new family in town, Sadie is drawn deeper into the mystery of Morgan's death. But Sadie must be careful, for the more she discovers about Mrs. Baines, the more she begins to realize just how much she has to lose if the truth ever comes to light. Heard really good things about it, so I'm excited to have that one. I kept going back and forth with this one. It's really heavy. They had a couple copies, had a couple hard copies, had a couple paperback copies, but I really wanted the hardback because I really like the iridescent writing. This is Night Film by Marisha Pessel. I heard lots of good things about this book. It's super heavy. It's very thick. It's sort of written out almost, I feel like it's sort of written out as like a true crime kind of story, because it has like newspaper clippings and like website pages. Here's some like newspaper clippings. It just seems very, some pictures, some old pictures. Well, it's all website stuff. You can see the HTTP at the top. It looks very interesting, and I hear lots of good things about it. So I saw this copy was $4.99, and it's the, I'm sorry, no, $8.95. There's a $4.99 copy up here, price up there, but it was $8.95 at Second and Charles. It's a really good hardback copy, so I went ahead and I picked it up, even though it's very intimidating. Don't know when I'm going to get to it. If you've read this, let me know in the comments how you feel about it, and if I should read it sooner rather than later, because I'm really intrigued about it, but I'm also intimidated by it. I don't know what it's about. I mean, I think it has to do with like Old Hollywood. I don't know. Okay, let's read it. Let's read the synopsis real quick. On a damp October night, beautiful young Ashley Cordova is found dead in an abandoned warehouse in Lower Manhattan. Though her death is ruled a suicide, veteran investigative journalist Scott McGrath suspects otherwise. As he probes the strange circumstances surrounding Ashley's life and death, McGrath comes face to face with the legacy of her father, the legendary reclusive cult horror film director Stanislaus Cordova, a man who hasn't been seen in public for more than 30 years. For McGrath, another death connected to this seemingly cursed family dynasty seems more than just a coincidence. Though much has been written about Cordova's dark and unsettling films, very little is known about the man himself. Driven by revenge, curiosity, and a need for the truth, McGrath, with the aid of two strangers, is drawn deeper and deeper into Cordova's eerie, hypnotic world. The last time he got close to exposing the director, McGrath lost his marriage and his career. This time he might lose even more. So we have this journalist who is getting into the life of this director, this horror director, and I guess what happened through the death of his daughter. So yeah, it sounds really good. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Again, let me know your thoughts if you've read it. And lastly, I picked up 2 comic books. I got the next books to The Walking Dead, so I got 2 and 3. They were like $6.50. They're usually around 20 bucks at like Barnes & Nobles or even on Amazon. I've only read the first one. I really enjoyed the comic. I'd like to kind of collect them because I love the show, although I have not started the new season yet. What is wrong with me? Maggie is back. I need to see what kind of a badass she is, because I know she's a badass. So this one, like I said, is volume 2, Miles Behind Us. And then this one is volume 3, Safety Behind Bars. So this must be when they go to the prison, I'm guessing. This looks like Michonne, though. Do they meet Michonne before the prison? Because I know they're already in the prison when they meet Michonne in the show. I guess we'll find out. I am intrigued to know like the outline of the comic books versus the show, because that just intrigues me, because I know there's characters on the show that aren't in the comic, and comic has some characters not in the show, and vice, and then events that are happening are different and from the show to the comic book, vice versa. I want to know it all. I want to know the whole world of The Walking Dead because I'm obsessed. So that is my unhaul and my book unhaul and my book haul from Second and Charles. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank y'all so much for watching, and hope y'all all doing well, staying safe. Hugs from me all around, and I will see y'all very soon in my next video. Bye y'all.